Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Mike, creator and designer of the Songwriter's Planner. I am here today to welcome you to episode number 1. This is my very first podcast for the Songwriter's Planner, and I wanted to start a podcast because it was kind of something new for me, a way that I could connect with you folks out there who are singers, songwriters, musicians, people that are musically creative, DJs, producers, you name it. This podcast is meant to serve you guys and to hopefully provide some kind of value for you as an artist so that you folks can be more productive out there and get more things done and achieve more goals of whatever it is that you're looking to do. Again, my name is Mike. I am the creator of the planner, and I am by nature a drummer. I started playing drums a long time ago and have worked with many singer-songwriters over the years, many different playing situations, and learned a ton. On top of that, I dedicated myself to being more productive, learning new skills so that I could do things like create a podcast, create videos, put up websites, record my own music, things like that to basically make me more mobile, or things that I could do it myself. And the structure that I came up with to help me get all these things done so I could then apply these skills to my music, and more importantly, not have to rely on anybody, was very effective for me. I basically became obsessed with time management and getting things done on my own time and accomplishing things. And what I learned is that when you do it yourself, you get things done. At least for me. And that is what I would that is the purpose behind the planner itself. And the idea that sparked the planner is it is for singer-songwriters, it is for musicians, it is for creative people. And it is a gateway into hopefully providing some kind of structure that you can implement to help you achieve your goals. And those are going to be what you want to define your music as, or what you want to achieve. So that is a quick introduction. I'm concurrently doing a video and a podcast, so you will eventually see both on my website. And so thanks for swinging by. A quick reason as to why I wanted to do a podcast as well, to add on to what I was saying earlier, is that podcasts, I love them. I listen to them all the time. They're great to listen to in your car when you're driving home, when you're on the train, in the bus, just killing time. Podcasts, they're just great ways to absorb information, of value, of knowledge in your leisurely time, I guess. So that is the reason why I wanted to do this podcast. And there you go. So today's topic is how can we as artists get more done throughout the week? And of course, being this is our first podcast, I wanted to just hit this high level and just establish what time management, what planning and scheduling your time and your resources, what it's all about, and how can you get more done throughout the week using these tools of time management. Now, traditionally, artists and musicians and people like me and people like you, we're not really known for being, productive in a sense that, in the sense of a way of a lawyer or someone who's in an office job, or someone who is like a CEO. We're not really known for being as productive as other professions in the world, and that's okay. That is completely okay. There's something about being an artist that people understand, when you're going to create things like music, or you're going to create a painting and stuff, you just can't turn it on. It just doesn't happen. You're not a machine, and you can't just pump out these kinds of things. I get that. I understand. And that's not what this is about, though. This is about achieving things around your music, around what I use the term brand. I use brand a lot. So creating what things can you do around your brand? That's including your music during the week, and get them done so that you feel fulfilled, you feel like you're making progress, and you're happy because of it. Those things are really important because it affects you emotionally when you can actually check things off your list every week, whether they're big or small. It really doesn't matter. Getting things done, checking them off your list, makes you feel like you're progressing forward to something, and there's no better feeling about progressing forward than when it's about your music or your brand as a musician or an artist or a DJ or a producer, you name it. Finishing that album, got the demos done, hooked up with that producer and got some work done, collaborated with someone, wrote a song, something as simple as writing a song. Like, that makes you feel fulfilled and makes you feel like, wow, man, I accomplished that. And then the rest is easy after that, right? Well, how do you make time for that during your week? I mean, you work. I assume you work. Not everybody, there's some full-timers out there. Love you guys. But full-time musicians. But overall, majority of us work. That takes up a lot of time during the day. We have families. Some of us have kids. I have a child. I have a daughter. You have family out there. Some of you are married, girlfriends, boyfriends. Your life can be busy. And if you're sitting in a room and you don't have any of those things in your life, then you must be an artist. No, just kidding. No, but in general, we get busier as we get older. And how do we find the time to fit in our creative thoughts and our creative input? Well, for me, and what I like to stress in the planner is that you have to make time. And I know that sounds simple, and you're probably going, well, duh, of course you got to make time. But the act and the practice of making time to work on these things is super important. And not only to make time, but to plan ahead to make the time to do it. That, I think, is the key, in that, if you get in front of your goals, you get in front of the things you want to accomplish for the week, for the month, for the year, and you hit it ahead of time. Say you have a goal I want to make sure that I have the basis of 2 songs a week. Okay, no problem. You sit down with your guitar and you work on riffs. You got riffs here. Make that time, write it out, schedule it. Say every Tuesday, this Tuesday from 6 to 8, I'm going to turn off the TV. I'm going to put everything on record. I'm going to go into my studio, go into my office, and I'm just going to riff. I'm going to riff until I come up with an idea. And then I'm going to start writing down ideas for lyrics. Same things with producers. Are you a beat maker? Do you do all that stuff? You're going to lock yourself in a room for 2 hours a week, or 2 hours on those days, and just riff and get and do the things you want to do. Now, because we're artists, you probably do those things already, but what we're talking about is scheduling these activities, really grasping your schedule, grasping and putting time in on your calendar, or making mental notes. Okay, this is what's happening. I have to lock myself in the room and I have to do this, because these are all things these are skill sets that are going to make you more productive. And if you're more productive, you're going to put out more music, or you're going to collaborate with more people, and you're going to have more chances of people hearing you and you gaining new fans. That's what it's all about. Even if the stuff that you think you're putting out is garbage, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to being more productive. And the more music, or AKA content, as I like to say, you put out, the more chances you're going to have of people finding you, liking you, and becoming a fan. Obviously, you want to set your goals ahead of time as well. You have to set your goals first before you schedule time, but you want to set goals, say weekly goals, and figure out, okay, I want to get these things done this week. Like I mentioned, 2 songs a week kind of thing. They all kind of play together, in that the important thing is that you do this ahead of time. I think a lot of us get caught up in the riffraff of life, and we get right hooked by things that happen in life, and we don't have a plan ahead of time to do the things we want to do. So we just kind of sit there and go, well, I was thinking about, busting out the keyboard, or, getting out FL Studio this tonight, but I can't now because I got something else going on. If you have a plan ahead of time and you can schedule out, you can see how your week looks and how your month looks, and plan for times and be flexible when things like that happen. It really is all about, challenging the stereotype that artists, musicians are lazy, and I'm going to say the L word. I'm going to say it. We're thought of as lazy. We're thought of as dreamers. We're thought of as people who just let things sit back and create art and let things come to us. The reality of it is, in today's world, as we can't afford to fit that stigma, because the reason why is because there's so much competition out there. There are so many artists, there are so many musicians, there are so many producers, all trying to get attention, all trying to create songs, all trying to be seen, to be heard, to be known. And everybody can do it at once. You go to Instagram, you look at how many Instagram people are on Instagram playing their demo songs for you. Go to SoundCloud. Do a search. Everybody is on it. Everybody is on it. So sitting back and just kind of doing your own thing and hoping that people come around to listen to you, and it's going to take forever, number one. And your chances of gaining fans at a faster pace, or a pace that you could really be doing it, is nilch. You're not going to get the kind of fan base that you hope for. Now, I can make the argument that, I write great songs and people, once they hear them, they're going to be a fan. I get that. Of course, that's what we all want for our music. That's what I would love to have as well. But you're talking about catching lightning in a bottle situations, viral videos and things like that. And A, they just don't happen as often as you think they do. And B, viral videos and viral songs don't last long. They don't last long because people have such short attention spans that one song, someone might hear your song today, might be great, they might love it, but you know what? You're just a flip away from them finding someone else. And that is the reality of the music industry that we live in. So the more that you can put yourself out there, the more content you can put out, the better chances of you're going to have of sticking in people's heads. And the key to doing that is to making more time throughout your month, throughout your day, throughout your week, so that you're able to create this kind of music and you're able to create this content and schedule your time to do it. That's what this is all about. So, the number one thing you want to do is set up your week, set up your month ahead of time, lay out what your schedule is going to be. You got a goal. You want to start a YouTube channel and put out 2 videos a week, or 1 video every 2 weeks, of you playing a song, of you talking about your musical influences. That's something that you can do as an artist, and it has nothing to do with writing music. Or you got writer's block? No problem. Create a YouTube video and tell your musical influences. That's going to get fans involved with you. You don't have to come out with amazing music every week. That's not something that you have to do all the time, because it just doesn't work that way. I get that. But there are so many other things that you can do as an artist that will help grow your fan base, even if you're not even creating music. Like I mentioned, vlogging, creating a video, and I'll get into a lot of these other things as these podcasts go on. I'm trying to keep these to a certain length because I could just yap all night, and I don't want to do that. But again, getting back to the theme of how do you fit time in during your week to get these things done, I'll always go back to scheduling, planning ahead of time. And if things don't work out the way you wanted them to that week, have a backup plan. You have your schedule in front of you. You have time set apart to do the things you need to do. You can see where you can plug in this other time. But of course, it comes down to, if you don't do these things, you'll never get them done. We are what we do, not what we intend to do. And I think I got that right. But having the intention of doing something is not good enough. You have to actually do it. And that means scheduling time to sit down, work on riffs, work on, new lyrics or something that you had, collaborate with other members, find other members to work with, rehearse with your band. If your band only rehearses once a week, great, no problem. You got the rest of the week to work on riffs of your own or ideas, and create flyers. I mean, like I said, vlog. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do in addition to your music, and scheduling them during the week is the way to do it ahead of time. And I probably said that a million times in this podcast and this vlog, but that's how much I believe in it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here for now. I think I've gone good enough time for my first podcast. And like I said, I really want to get into these things with you folks out there more as these podcasts go on. I'm also going to have special guests that I'm going to interview here to get other people's perspectives on how they do their music, how they get things done with, gigging, writing albums, just what the lives are like of other musicians out there and other songwriters and other producers and all like that. I want to interview these people. So look for that as well on the podcast coming up. And that's about it. So again, check out the Songwriters Planner, songwritersplanner.com. The basically a weekly planner to help you schedule time, kind of a tool that I came up with for musicians, for singer-songwriters, for creative people that do music. Those are my favorite kind of people. I always say that because I am one of them, and that's how I love hanging out with other artists. So Songwriters Planner, check it out, and if it's something that you think you would love to use, then great. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me, mike@songwritersplanner.com. Love getting feedback. I check my ego at the door. I'll always say that, and love to hear from you guys. So thanks again for joining episode 1 of my podcast, and looking forward to seeing you guys at the next podcast. Peace and love, Mike.